Hi, this is Sriyank Siddhartha and welcome to another video on Android. In this video, I will show you what exactly is live data encapsulation, why is it important, and how can you implement it in your project. Now, if you have seen my two previous videos on Kotlin, which was based on backing property and backing field, then you have already built the foundation for this video of live data encapsulation. So if you haven't watched these two videos, then you can watch them later after this video. I will put the link in the description box. So before we start this video, give this video a thumbs up, and if you are new, please subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. So let us understand why we need to encapsulate live data at all. Suppose we have a class GameViewModel which contains a mutable live data such as score. Now, by default, this score property is public in nature, which means it can be accessed outside this class. That means if you want to access this property within activity or fragment, that is our UI layer, then you need to use the instance of GameViewModel, which is VM over here, access the score value, and then update the score value as per your requirement. Here I am incrementing the value by 1. Similarly, we can decrement the score value as well as per our requirement. But here comes the twist. Now, as per the Android official guidelines, the data of the view model must be modified within the view model itself. That is, the UI layer such as activity or fragment should never directly update the data of the view model. So, these two statements should be strictly avoided in the UI layer, as it is against the convention. But since this property is public, so it is quite possible that the UI layer can modify its value anytime in future, which is not good. So we need to find a solution to protect this property from the outside world. So how to do that? Well, the solution to this lies in encapsulating the live data. So let us redefine our game view model and convert this declaration into backing property and backing field. And this can be done in two simple steps. In step number 1, change this statement into this statement over here. So this public becomes private, this score becomes underscore score. So we just added an underscore before its name. And this implementation of data type declaration remains the same. No changes over here. Now please note that this is a private declaration, so we must create its public version as well. So in step number 2, let's create its public version like this, along with the getter method. So by default, this declaration is public. The name remains score, but its data type has now changed. Now it is just live data instead of mutable live data, and its getter returns the private field underscore score to the outside world, which is actually this private variable over here, defined in step number 1. So by converting this declaration into these two declarations, we have actually encapsulated our live data from the outside world. Let me show you how. So if you use this updated code in your project, then in your activity, these two statements will not compile and will throw an compilation error. Why? Because here we are trying to access score property, which is okay, but we are trying to modify its value as well, which is not allowed because now this score is public, but at the same time it is read only. So you cannot edit the value outside your view model. So this encapsulation of the live data has automatically led us to follow this rule. But Just like we were earlier editing the score value before encapsulation, so we need to write the same code within our game view model as well, so that we can increment or decrement the score value as per the requirement. So let us create these two functions. The first function will increment the score and the second will decrement the score. Now notice here that within these two functions we are using underscore score field variable. So again note that within your view model you must use this private underscore score variable like we are doing here, here and here. But outside the view model we should always access this public score variable. So this private field should be used within the view model and this public field should be used outside the view model. So once your code is complete, then outside the view model within our activity class, we can use the view model object and increment the score value by calling increment score method like this. Then we can also decrement the score and even read the score value. But remember, the score value cannot be edited. It can only be read. So this way, by using the concept of encapsulation, we have safeguarded our live data from the outside world. Nice and simple. Now, you might feel initially that this code is way too much compared to just one line of code over here. But trust me, if you follow this concept of encapsulation, then this will prevent a lot of bugs in your application, which you might introduce unknowingly. And in the long run, this encapsulation makes your project highly maintainable and easier to test. Fine. So this was all about encapsulating live data. Now initially when I started the video, I mentioned two phrases. The first was backing field and second was backing property. Well, this private field in terms of Kotlin is actually known as Kotlin backing field. And this public field is actually known as the backing property in Kotlin. So if you want to know more about these two Kotlin concepts, then I have given the link to these two videos in the description box. Please check them out. And of course, if you have learned something new from this video, then give this video a thumbs up. And please support my work by commenting below the video. This is Sriyank Siddhartha signing off. Thanks for watching and have a great day.